have a 3-year-old stallion. If you're starting out and you have a horse that is really quiet and not so sensitive and you're having trouble to get a reaction, we start here again from the beginning. So Dreamy has no idea what lifting the front leg is about. So we start off by having him on the track, standing still. I start rubbing a little bit the leg and then a little bit the tapping. And then you get a little bit the leg lifting off the ground. Again, I walk a little bit forward, give him the reward for showing the lift. Again, tap a little. And you may get this in the beginning. When you're tapping, the horse is taking a little bit the weight backwards. And so to compensate that, I start to lift the head, keep a little bit the tapping of the whip, and try to get him to think about taking the leg a little bit forward. And as soon as I get a little bit where he starts to lift the leg in front, then again I'm taking the pressure off. And again, tapping a little till he finds a little bit there, the forward step. And making sure, like all 3-year-old stallions, they behave and not chew on the rope. Again, I get my stop. A little bit back. And in the beginning, you'll lose a little bit control like this. Sometimes they'll want to walk too much forward. So it's again, getting the stop. Again, tapping a little bit behind the knee. And lifting a little bit the head, so he's thinking about taking the leg forward. So it's just little light taps. As soon as you see a little reaction in the leg, that's going forward and not backwards. Again, here you see the backwards. And I'm tapping. And then you feel like you sometimes get to a level where you have to really tap. Good boy. And you just try to search a little bit for that forward reaction. In the beginning, it could be quite slow. And then, for instance, if you have a horse a little bit like Dreamy that is fairly confident, a bit not super sensitive in the legs, you can then try to go to a whip that's a little bit more sharp, where you have to tap him less to get more of a reaction. If you have a horse that's really quiet and a little bit cold or dead in the legs, rather than hitting him harder, try to find a whip that gives a different reaction. Each whip has a different feel, and of course, therefore, it gives a different reaction. So we take him back to the track. And then get him that he's standing still here again on the track. And then we try again with the light taps. And so straight away here, I get a quicker reaction from the lighter taps. There the leg goes a little bit forward. So of course in the beginning he's not setting the world on fire, but he's starting to think about taking the leg forward. Of course for a 3-year-old stallion it's hard to concentrate on the job and not want to chew and play on the rope. Here again I get the standing still, and again little tap. There's a forward step. And so each time he's taking the leg forward, I'm taking the pressure off until I get to a point where I have the feeling that when I lift the head and come with the whip, not too much forward, standing still, lift a bit the head. Here when he's thinking that now it's too much forward, I go back to my starting position. I want it that I start from a standstill. And remember, you're wanting the control first, not the walking off. I want really the control first, the standing, lifting the leg. There's good. And relax again. Also here I stop him because he's starting to take over a little bit himself. And then again, I ask a little bit. So I get the standing still and the lifting. Little taps, little tap. There's really good. Relax again and then walk. So you're looking to have all the control. You can see very quickly, even on a young horse like this, that he's a little bit cold in the leg. It's just about feeling what you think the horse needs. If he's really cold on the legs and you start with the bamboo and you don't get a reaction, then you can start to feel, well, maybe I need something a little bit lighter that he will listen to better. And of course, always thinking in the beginning about the control, that each step is on your aid and not that they think they have their own ideas about it. But here is a good beginning. When you start off, a few steps like that where he's lifting, you're planting the seed of the idea of what you want, and then very quickly each time you bring them out, the idea starts to grow in the mind, and then they begin to learn. Good boy.